Yo, what's up, guys? Welcome to the last part of the beginner Eidolon hunting series. This time we're going to be looking at Harrow in a 4-man setting with just rotating Void Strike through the limbs. So we're going to be doing this very straightforward, as little complicated things as possible. And as always, first thing to do as a VS class is always just blink out of gate, spawn some bombs, and then fly to Hydrolist. As you can see, I just spotted some Wombalists on our way here. And because I'm Harrow and I don't actually have anything to do until the third limb, I can just take the time and collect these Wombalists and drop them off into this lure already. And you can see we're still on time even for the first limb, and to use our 4 to block the magnetic waves. So yeah, always just press 4 when the head kind of dips down like that. And if you're running the build from the wiki or something similar with about 90 to 95% duration, this should time itself out pretty much perfectly. And yeah, now we're just rotating through our Void Strike cooldown, so our Volt took the first shield, Trin took the second one. Now I'm gonna take the third. And then our Volt is gonna have his cooldown back and he can take the last limb without any issues. Every VS user is running Eternal Onslaught on their amp to get a 100% crit chance when you activate Void Strike. And if you have the second arcane slot, you can obviously run Eternal Eradicate on top of that. Yeah, so that's the Hydrolist down. Now we're just going to swap to our Cyclone, help our DPS absorb the bombs into the lures. And because we dropped off two bombs earlier into one of those lures, we already have 3 blues. So all we can do now is just help our lure handler search for bombs in the area. So you can see I'm just looking around kind of. And we just saw them spawn there, so our lure handler will go get those, and we can already return to the Eidolon and get ready to cast our 4 when he stands up. So as you can see, as soon as he stands up, we start pressing 4, and then we kind of stand on this teal goo, because that actually does a fair bit of damage to us and allows us to pretty much max out our buff every time, or at least get close to it. And yeah, then the capture happens, we just fly back to Shrine, and here we pretty much just wait for the lure to explode, and then we suck up our loot. As soon as that happens, you can see we just got a random bomb spawn in the Shrine, which is kind of lucky. So yeah, we're just cracking those really quick so they get absorbed into the lures. But we don't actually prioritize them compared to the Shrine. The Shrine is way more important to put the shards in on time. In this case, we're last, so we're fourth on the Shrine, so we wait till everybody else has inserted their shard, and then we're just spamming X. So yeah, now we go back to just invulning the magnetic waves and shooting the shield when it's our turn to use Void Strike, which is the third limb usually. So this just now is the second limb. Now you can see the Eidolon is desynced. This sometimes happens if you get a very fast limb break. There's 2 ways to kind of time the shot anyways. Either you have your DPS shoot a probe out, or you just kind of learn to time it by counting and shoot it that way. That's what I usually do. I just kind of wait till the waves disappear and count to 6, and that's when I shoot the Replag. And because I have Eternal Onslaught and Void Strike, I know the Replag is enough to guarantee take the limb. So yeah, now the same thing we're just going to be repeating. So as you can see, I almost forgot to press 4 here. Now, if I would just keep playing, my next 4 would not be up on time. It would still be on cooldown. So what I'm going to do here is dive into the water and basically reset the cooldown by just deleting the buff from my frame. And now I can press 4 on time again. And yeah, and then I just go into frame, into operator, and shoot the last shield, because now it's my turn again. So yeah, now we're in the down phase. If we still had yellow lures at this point, we would be flying around looking for bombs and helping our lure handler charge his lures, but in this case we're all blue already, so all we really need to do is just wait for the Eidolon to go through its heal phase, capshot it, and then move on to Hydrolist. So yeah, as you can see, he's desynced again as well, so the visual cue for us to press 4 is actually when the teal waves stop going towards the Eidolon, and when he stops making this calling sound. So that's right now. As you can see, my reaction was actually somewhat slow, but it's not a big deal. It's still on time before the cap shot. So yeah. Now we just collect whatever's on the ground and fly back to Shrine. You don't actually need to leave Arcwing here, it's just kind of habit. You can just stay in Arcwing the entire time as Harrow, because there's nothing for you to do on Shrine. You just suck up the loot and get ready to insert Shard. And once again, we're going to be doing the same Shard order. DPS first, Lure Handler second, VS Volt third, and Harrow last. And obviously that's interchangeable. Whoever takes the water shield should be the one going second. And here we just land on the shield and shoot a few shots, but without actually using Void Strike. Not because we need it, just because it's fun. And yeah, and then we just go back to our usual routine between limbs, just involving the magnetic waves and waiting for our turn to shoot. Which is going to be the next limb. So yeah, once again, press 4. It's also important to notice that between your fourth ability casts, you're actually not the tankiest frame in the world, so make sure you always have the Trinity Blessing or the Wisp mode buff on you, depending on what frame is lure handling. And also try to keep moving, because if you're moving around a lot, the Hydro Lightning doesn't really hit you as much. As you can see, I'm trying to not stand still for too long, but I also have the Wisp mode, so I can't really die. Yeah, now we're just pressing 4 every time the mag wave gets spawned. And waiting for our teammates to break the shield until it's our turn again. Yeah, as you can see, Harrow is a very straightforward frame. Not much to do, really, but is also very flexible because of that. Can spend a lot of time looking for worms, can spend a lot of time helping the lure handler in general, or the DPS. And it's a great frame to start out as if you're very, very new to hunting, if you have never hunted before. Because he's not 100% necessary for hunts, he's kind of a luxury frame. And he's also very straightforward to play, not very complicated, very, very limited amount of duties during the hunt. So yeah, if you're new to hunts or if you have a friend that's very new to hunting, I'd recommend starting out on Harrow and then working your way up through the different roles. Yeah, don't play Harrow only, because Harrow gets obsolete very, very quickly if you get into more advanced hunting. So yeah, Eidolon standing up, we just cast out 4 to give our DPS the crit chance buff, and we just suck up the loot, place our mech at the gate to open it, and wait for the lure to teleport. And then as soon as the lure teleports, we just suck up the loot and fly into gate. And yeah, and just like that, you have a very, very fast run compared to the average run that most people do. And with very, very simple strats. And yeah, if you do this 6 times in a row, then you get a very, very comfortable 6x3 usually. So yeah, that's pretty much it with the beginner Eidolon hunting series. I hope this helps. If you have any questions, suggestions, whatever it is, just leave them in the comments, ask me on Discord, send me a DM. Check out the wiki as well, because the wiki has a lot more details about everything than I can fit into a 5 to 10 minute video. And yeah, good luck in your hunts.